now. Yeah. I'm gonna say that again now that it's recording. I want to be on Thursday spots. Then I'm like an official guest. It's being on like a talk show.
It is. We're welcoming the speakers and everybody.
Yeah. Hey. Hello.
What's going on, Mana?
Hi.
Good to see you on the call.
Thank you.
What's tonight's topic?
So tonight's topic is classes.
This month, being August, business with response. We're trying to everybody break the pause.
I can't hear a thing.
Oh, I need to slide forward. How about now?
I just can't hear because it's like it's breaking up. So I don't know if it's on my end or on your end.
Is that?
We can hear you.
Yeah,
so
I can
maybe
hear
it's
you.
on our end.
Okay. It sounds weird. Okay.
All right. Yeah, something does sound like. Let me see if maybe it's coming from that other computer.
Okay, so I'll say just starting with so a lot of what I'm going to discuss too comes out of the game plan. Just because we know that the most important thing to building is building relationship, because we are in relationship marketing. So when we think about relationship marketing, we have to sometimes get out of our own circles. So we get to a point where it seems like, you know, we've tapped into our family, we tapped into close friends and things like that. And then for me personally, I was like, I'm stuck now. Now what? Now what do I do? So how do we get out of that stuck state? How do we figure out how can I expand beyond this? So at that point, we want to still be building, of course, our classes, and we want to be building awareness, but we don't want to keep having to invite the same people. Like, you know, your mom can only come to so many classes before it's like, okay, this is enough. Or she should be teaching. Right. Or, you know, for me, you know, once my entire family is in there, now what do we do? So one thing that I really appreciated about both Eric Worre and Sarah Harnett that they brought out is when we think about people, we should constantly be having an active list. So we're constantly meeting new people, and we're constantly trying to build that list. So I just think about, like, so the other day I was at Aldi, and for me, if I go into Aldi and you smile at me and start a conversation, there's one of two things that are going to happen. You're going to get a track or a contact card, or we're going to talk about oils. Like, it's going to be one or the other, period. Like, so I had a lady that she was talking about What the Hell. So she was talking about the documentary and things like that. I've never met this lady in my life, but so of course my first reaction was like, wow, isn't our creator wonderful, giving us all this fresh food and things like that? So trying to slide in there, see if I can give a witness. She didn't seem very interested in that. She kept talking about food, and she kept talking about her diet and things like that. And I told her, I said, well, do you live around here? Because we actually hold classes just up the street on Greenfield, and we talk about wellness and essential oils. Are you familiar with essential oils? I love essential oils. Essential oils are amazing. I get them from Better Health just up the street.
Right.
The irony.
Hey, at least I get an income one way or the other.
So again, I've never met this lady before, but if we're actively thinking about how we can help other people and expand, there's always opportunities to invite, and there's always opportunities to grow.
So I was going to kind of add to that because, well, I'm sliding into the because I was going to say we have to take the attachment out of it from the financial aspect. Granted, if you are a more motivated person, you're or growth financially, but people think that. So when we're talking about the consistency and having this, you have to learn to invite in a way that is natural, that doesn't necessarily come off as I'm just looking to make a sale. I know when I went to convention and I talked to some of the Royal Crown Diamond upline leaders like Scott and Brenda Schuler and Adam Green, one of their biggest things was like, to be successful, you have to have classes till you don't feel like having classes anymore, and then you have to have classes again. Yeah, and it didn't really appeal to me because I'm just like, I get bored with something after a while. So I'm like, how many intro oil classes can I teach? Like, I'm ready to move on to something else. But if you think about it, if it's what yields results, why change? You know, so I think the biggest thing is sometimes we get frustrated with the way that we build our business, because it is about consistency, and just like any other business, some of it may become monotonous to you. It may bore you. But if your goal is to be productive, and like this month, if your goal is to rank up, then these are the things that it takes to be productive. Like, it takes having those intro classes, calls, being plugged into your upline leaders, and allowing them to help you to speak to your downline. I'm sure that, Leah, you could probably attest to that, being a silver leader, right? So those things are important. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. The wheel has already been invented and it runs smoothly. We just need to.
I will. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you want me to say anything?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Just on the thread that you're already going with, if you're on this call, chances are, if you're listening to the replay, chances are you're not just enjoying the oils, and you're not just dabbling in the hobby of the business idea. You want to build a business. You want to make an income of this. Maybe you want to leave your job that you already have. Maybe you want to stay home with your kids. I'm not sure what your why is, but there's something bigger that brought you on this call today. And there's really only one way to get there. And it's not just about the classes. The classes is what's facilitating it. You need to drill down and find other leaders that you're going to lock arms with to get you there. And the only way you're going to do that is to make a duplicatable system, and that is the classes.
We're locked arms on this couch and extremely close right now because Leah forced us into the leadership position. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No,
but and just to speak to that, I had a friend, her sister, right, who enrolled Dana. And so if you look at it that way, I drilled down through these people. The top two people, one of them doesn't even order anymore. The other one is smart enough to know never to stop ordering.
So they can get their kickback.
Yeah, and then she has a silver leader, and Dana's on her way there. So if you look at it that way, I drilled down doing these classes until I found leaders, genuine people that saw the vision that I had and that I knew I could pull up for where I was at and take them with me on this ride.
I agree. One of the things that I suggest is, like, look at the classes that are available in your area. I know Dana and I do host 4 classes a month that are available to plug into. But also, if that doesn't work for you, you can send people to those classes and we'll gladly educate them. But look at your schedule and look at, can you do like a make and take party at your home? Maybe classes don't appeal to your personality type. I know I'm not a huge class person. I had to learn because it's productive. But if you are like a party individual, have a few people over to your house, get the new make and take kit that Young Living released at the rally, and make a few items, send them home with something that they can actually use, and then follow up with them. If they want more information, put them into a class or schedule one-on-one to go through the oils with them. Just don't let the month go by without following up with the individual and either getting a yes or a no. Because people get caught in limbo, and then we forget about them, and then they end up signing up with somebody else. It's happened to me before. I'm sure it's happened. Has it happened to you before? Absolutely. So, it's important to have classes and invite them, because eventually everybody's going to touch young at some point in their lives. Whether they choose to take off with it and do anything is completely different. Introduce them and sign them up, they're going to sign up with somebody else. It's just a numbers thing because most of us know the same people. So if there is another Young Living distributor in the area, they could sign up with them, but the difference is the relationship that they have with you. So that's why it's important to tap into your immediate circle and tap into your network because you have the relationship. And at the very least, let's say that you're selling, I don't know, bottled water. You would have 2 or 3 people who buy bottled water because it's you, right? So it's just important to tap into your network and get them that education.
So the other thing I want to talk about is some objections. So sometimes we're at a point where we're like, well, I want to invite, but I don't know anyone. So with that objection, again, I love how Sarah Harnish kind of like puts that out because it's like, it's not about all of who you know, but it's about who they know. So how do we get people, right? And how do we get people to our classes? So follow that system. So the system is you invite your 50 people, you find 3 people, 50 people. So now we're getting outside of our own little circle, and now we're utilizing those people that they know. And then we give them something. So maybe they are in Young Living. So great. They're going to make some commission off of it. Maybe they're not in Young Living. That's okay too, because now let's give them a little goodie bag. Let's thank them. Like, you know what? Thank you for taking the time out to invite 50 people to my class. And that way it takes some of the pressure off of ourselves, because I feel like just trying to implement that in the last couple months, I've seen so much growth in our classes. Like, because we were definitely getting to that place where I'm like, nobody's coming to our classes anymore.
But we still held them anyway.
We still held them, yep. We still held them. But it's like, so again, once I kind of like, let's break out of like, they're probably tired of me to every single class. Let's get out of the same circle. So let's tap into who they know. And immediately it started growing and people started coming again because we're not going to these same people over and over again. And we have a system and people like to be rewarded. So thank you for doing this. I'm going to give you a few little samples and I don't know, some ninja sachets or something. And they like that. They're like, because they feel like they like free stuff. And then they feel like, oh, I helped you with your business. Hey, like, so it's okay to like invite people and ask them to assist in the inviting and getting people there.
And realize that it's a numbers game. So if you're inviting 50 people and you have 3 individuals who are inviting 50, usually you get a 10 to 20% turnout. So out of 200 people that are invited to a party or a class, at least 10 to 20 people will show up. So out of that 10 to 20 people, usually the turnaround and sign-up ratio is anywhere from 10 to 30%. So if you can sign up anywhere from 1 to 3 people, then you've had a great party and you now have 3 individuals to work with and follow up with down the road. So that's why everybody should class today. But that's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to have those classes and to follow through with inviting and to reach into your network. They may not always be able to make a class like Dana said, but at the very least, most people are on Facebook. They should be able to add 50 friends to your event. And hey, send them a quick message while my son blocks my wife's head. Send them a quick message and say, hey, I thought about you. A friend of mine is having a class over. I know somebody who's having a class on essential oils. I went. It was a blast. I had a great time. It was a lot of information. Would you do me a favor and come? Something short and simple like that. If you send that out to 50 people, it takes like 5 minutes, literally. You're going to see the number rise and how many people come to your class. Anything else?
Okay. One caveat if we're just talking about Facebook classes.
Go ahead.
If you've taken the time to invite them, take the time to follow up with them. If you guys don't do that, they don't always mention, and Dana doesn't always know where they come from. So follow up with them and ask them how they enjoyed it. Start a general conversation. Hey, how did you enjoy that? Or is it peppermint awesome? Whatever it is. Start a conversation, follow up with them, and then what I keep saying consistently, and this is probably my fault because I haven't taught this well, is we need to learn how to close that sale. Tell them they need the kit. That's how you close the sale. Honestly, you invite them to the class, you tell them how awesome it's going to be. The wheels are already turning. And then you tell them at the very end, after you said, whatever small talk, wasn't that great? Now you need to order this kit. And I say that as a statement and not as a question. And that's going to be really uncomfortable for some people, but this is how we talk to our friends. You totally need that. They're wearing an adorable dress. You're like, you have got to get that. That is all you, right? When you mean it, you don't ask it. You say it. And that's what I would encourage you to do when you're closing the sale. We're not just talking about, the inviting and the following up. This is the last thing you're going to, let them know is you tell them what to do next, and then you walk them through the steps how to get there. When they object to the price, people object. Nobody wants to lay out that kind of cash, but it's half the time it's because they don't understand the value of it. Yeah. Dana does a really great job explaining the value of it and the way it converts all these things in their home, but they often need a reminder. You're like, you easily spend that much between your laundry detergent, your makeup, your blah, 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 like list everything, the soaps in their house, all the cleaners they're using. You easily spend that every month. Mm-hmm. So here's what you're going to do is you're going to make an investment in your family's health, and you're really not losing any of that money. It's all going back. You're going to use it in these same areas of your life. So it's not that much. Besides, we're going to book another class for you to have, and you're going to earn all this money back. Well, I don't want to do the business. I didn't say anything about you doing a business. I just want to make sure you get all your money back,
That's simple.
But I like making it into a statement, because if we ask a question, sometimes it comes across like, do you think you want that? And they're like, I don't know. Maybe I thought I did, but the way you just asked it, I'm not so sure I do anymore. Maybe I shouldn't. Right. So we sometimes put that up there, and then there's some tentativeness there. So if you're not tentative, they'll be less.
So this is one thing that I started implementing. So I bring my laptop with me to every single class, and I set it up on the Young Living homepage. And so part of the close now of what I do is I walk them through, and I say, so this is how you order your kit. And I have the link up already. I say you go to become a member. Like, I walk through the whole process. So that way, when the class is over, you're going to have some people that's, okay, I'm ready to sign up. How do I do this again? And I walk them over there and sign them up. And then you're going to have those who kind of meander about, and they might stroll over to the laptop and do it without you having to tell them. There's some people that are like that. But just always have that resource available. And like Leah said, I don't ask them, what is the question we ask? Oh, do you want to buy a kit, or did you like the class? Like, you just deal in questions that don't invoke a negative response. So what did you like about the class? Oh, I didn't like it. Even if they say what they didn't like, I didn't like the price. Okay, no problem. But what did you like? And I repeat the question, because it's going to cause them to eventually find something positive that might kind of resonate with them. And then we go with that. So I like peppermint. Okay, great. Peppermint comes in a premium starter kit. So this is how you order your starter kit. And I walk them through the process.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
So I would just reminders for upcoming classes. So we do have a class that we'll be doing next Sunday at 4:30. We do have then 2 weeks from then we will have a Friday night on
the 25th at 6:30,
and then a Sunday one,
which is the 27th at 4:30. Mm-hmm. So I know we had a business builders class planned for the 11th, but kind of scheduling conflict. I know I'm looking at this paper that has all the classes. So we're going to try to reschedule that for later on in the month and squeeze that in. Those business builder classes, you can invite individuals who are looking to maybe build a home-based business or to earn some extra money, but they're going to be more specific training for people on our team on how to treat this like a business and how to be successful in it. So we do have the intro to oils classes, which are great for prospects, but those business building classes are for those who want to hit the ground running and really take off and rank up this month. So keep an eye out for that, because that's probably going to be, I want to say, for that Friday class, we're going to try and squeeze that in there.
And then promotions. So many great promotions. So make sure you get with your teams. Anyone that you personally enrolled, make sure they know. Like right now, basically, anyone that places an order before tomorrow, there's a whole Ninja red sachets and Ninja Zing and Ninja Nitros that they can enter to win, as well as throughout the month. There's whether you do 50, I think 100, and rest of the promos or whatnot. You again get so many entries into drawings that will be done at the beginning of September, the beginning of October, and the beginning of November. So for 3 months, there's going to be some awesome promotions just simply by placing orders. So that's something that you really, really want to get down to those you personally enrolled and those in your team. Because I mean, I know I personally send out emails to everybody, but I'm sure like maybe 2 people actually read my emails. So
it's 2017.
right. And they're getting mailers and things like that. But you want to make sure you personally, because if you personally enrolled them, more than likely when they see our names, they don't know who we are personally. So they want to hear from you. So make sure you personally let them know about some of these promotions that are rolling out. A lot of big things that they can win. And it's free. I love free. Like if I can get it free. And then I know Kim is also doing, if you enroll a certain amount of people, get them on ER. She's giving away like real authentic cowgirl boots too. So
I'm still trying to understand why that's a big deal.
Because some things is expensive.
I know that. Maybe it's just
It's
like
something.
something.
$200 pair of boots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess if you're from Iowa too, it's a big deal.
Maybe.
I am not from Iowa, but I will take some cowgirl
I
boots.
would like some.
Maybe I
Not
just.
because I need to go balance.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But so there's lots of promotions.
Not Young Living's promotion.
Oh, right. Well, and those are awesome too. Like if you hit the 300 mark, like basically you're getting almost $300 worth of free stuff.
I bought the Kids Net collection. I think it cost me $200 when it first came out. Just place a $300 order if you really, really can't squeeze it out yourself. Post on Facebook that you are looking for some random oils and because there's no reason that you should miss out on that, especially if you're human. So you need these oils. Here's my challenge.
Okay. Good.
Here's my challenge. If I could end this.
Yeah.
You're
Go
done.
ahead.
But I have to say
Look,
this.
you are our special guest. So
No, well,
wish you
I
kinda have to
challenge
just
whoever
stroll in.
watches this, including you guys.
Wait a minute.
You've already got the half of this done. Schedule a class for yourself because if I'm keeping kind of tabs on this, there hasn't been a ton of classes in besides what these awesome people are doing this summer. So you all need to schedule a class for yourself and invite people. Just like Anthony said, if it's a home class, you don't need to invite 200 people. You probably could get away with inviting 25 to 30, and not by sending a card, not just, whatever. You need to contact them. A text message where they're going to respond, not a group text. Yeah. All right. And then you'll probably have 10 to 12 people spam absolutely. And 6 are going to show up. I promise that's how it works. Yeah. And it's not that they don't love you. It's just how the numbers work. So you schedule a class for yourself doing that. Don't tell me you're in a class and you only invited 10 people, or that you sent a text out to 20 and you only had 1 person show up. That doesn't count. Then the other thing that you got to do is, if you're on this call, you're probably a business builder and you've got somebody you've already enrolled. You need to tell them, tell them, listen, I'm trying to hit a new rank and I need you to have a class for me. And then you work with them on that same thing so that they're not just inviting 10 people and hoping somebody will show up, but they literally are personally contacting 25 to 30 people to have them at their class as well. And if you're right now not even a star, that will get you to star. Yeah. Just that move. If you're halfway to senior star and you have 2 classes, that even could push you all the way to senior star. If you want to guarantee it, then you need to make sure you've got at least 2 of those classes in your downline. You guys, I don't see why you aren't going to get there. All of you have the potential. I've met many of you, and I have been nothing but impressed by your personalities. You guys are personable. People love you. People listen to you. Because you're influential. You guys are awesome. I said, because you always say, nobody listens to me. I love you. What you talking about?
I'm agreeing with you. I'm like, yeah, our downline.
I mean, no, I mean that. That last little part was just for me. I like to tease them. Everybody loves these guys, right? I love them. So that's the challenge to you guys.
I think that's a great challenge, and I think it's.
I don't think I need to like offer any incentive on the back end of it because you guys are going to make money doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, what better incentive
that's
could
a
there
good
be?
incentive.
Money.
Cash
money.
Plus, along the way, you're going to get promos. I mean, that's a great incentive. So before we wind it out, Yolanda, anything from you? Any questions or comments or anything like that?
I was thinking about when you were talking with the Premium Starter Kit and at shows. So my last experience was when I had a one-on-one, and I set everything up for her to order a Premium Starter Kit. So as she was going through, she ordered the everyday one, which kicked me out of getting anything because it was not a Premium Starter Kit. So you have to be really careful with that. You really want to be specific with the Premium Starter Kit, but you don't want to put the kind of pressure on them to feel like even if they don't have it, that they should try and get it because it's unattractive.
Like have the money?
Yeah, because she felt pressed. She didn't have the money, and so it did cause a problem. But she ended up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've realized that she can't hear me, can she?
No, there's a delay. So go ahead.
If she could afford the basic, tell her just to do PayPal. She could do the basic, and she could pay it over 3 months instead. It's essentially the same price, and she gets the premium kit.
Okay, so no, I don't understand that.
There's an option.
Tell her. I don't understand it to tell her. So say that again.
Pay with PayPal, and using PayPal credit, which is it's a button on there. They ask you about 5-6 questions, and they'll extend the credit to you, and that way you can make payments over it. I think as long as you pay it within 6 months, but I tell people to pay it within 3. By the end of 3 months, if they don't already need oils right away, they're going to need them for sure by then.
Really?
And it works about 3 payments people could usually do.
I mean, it's like $60 a month.
Yeah, and they're not getting anything with the basic kit, so we're not doing them any favors. If she honestly can't afford it, she's not doing you a favor. She probably thinks she is. She's probably like, well, I got to get something because I don't want to hurt Yolanda, and I really do want to help her. Tell her to go the other route then, because it helps you, and it certainly helps them much more.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. And the other thing, remember too, while in their first 3 months, they're still on fast start.
Yeah.
So anything that she now purchases, you're still getting 25% off of, or 25%. Mm-hmm. So I understand you couldn't afford to get it then, which is fine. So then help her to fill in some of the gaps of what she might not have been able to purchase in the beginning. So she can really experience the oils, because you're not going to really find wellness with one oil. Like you're not going to be able to experience everything. So just kind of help see what exactly more specifically. Does she have kids? Or no?
She has one, yes.
So like even going back to school, thieves.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
See, like all is lost. She still needs stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I will give you the business side of it, because sometimes I'm able to pull the emotion out of it and give you what the real is. We're so used to getting paid for our time, right? We go to work, we trade dollars for hours. So if I've invested time to sit down with somebody for a one-on-one, you're going to get a kit, because I've taken valuable time away from my family and my kids, whatever else I had going on. So I don't want people to haggle or finagle with me. So just tell me, if you cannot afford it, that's fine. PayPal is an option. Or I ask this question, when do you see yourself getting started? When do you think you'll have the money to get started? And put that ball in their court. And if they're like, I'm not sure, I don't know. Okay, well, I'll check back with you in a couple of days. And then I ask the same question. And then I pencil it in my calendar. Okay, such and such person said they're getting started in 2 weeks. And I call them in like 10 days. So that 4 days out, it's still in your mind that you're getting started. Like Leah said, don't make them feel like they're doing you a favor, because they're not really. Like, you're getting that, $50 up front. And then if they never order again, the reality is it's not really doing anything for you down the road. And they're not benefiting. So it's
Mhm.
investment of your time and your energy, sometimes your finances, like make it count. There's an option
Mhm.
for everybody to get started. Just people, they look at the everyday kid and they're like, it's a little bit cheaper, so maybe I'm gonna go that route. And in reality, it's not, because you're not getting as much value out of it. They are.
Right.
They're not.
Obviously.
Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, now I can present the PayPal option as an option because she did mention that she wanted to get the premium starter kit, but I guess life has happened. Maybe she's forgot. So now I have to go back and revisit, but I have something to present to her that makes getting it a lot less stressful.
Right.
Because, her being a single mom, and if she sees the option, oh, it's only $60 a month or something like that, that seems a lot doable than coming out of her pocket with the full amount, although she wants all the, oil. She likes the idea and, all of that. But then you look at, I got to come up with this all at one time. So this gives her an option that's, easier to digest. So I think that will work.
Because otherwise she's going to have oils with no diffuser. And come on, they just didn't.
Correct. And really that was it. So we talked about that, and we just then started talking about application methods where she could still benefit. So now by getting the premium starter kit, of course, then she would get the diffuser, which would really benefit her and her daughter. So
I would suggest, Yolanda, schedule your class and re-invite her, or invite her to a class, let her sit down and go through the information again, and let's close her out. Doubt it's probably past. There's some things she's probably forgotten or new tidbits she could take in. Invite her to a class and let's start the cycle all over again and close.
I also want to see if she can invite or bring people with her, because if we can get her money back too, especially if she's a single mother. Dime counts. I knew when I first started, we didn't have no extra money. I couldn't pay for anything because I was doing facials and doing things like that, but I was just making what I needed to pay all of my bills. I could not use any of my personal money for oils. Like, that was not a possibility. So from day one, I knew if I'm going to try to transition wellness into my household, I have to at least make back what I'm spending. And okay.
No, go ahead.
So I was just saying. So like in the beginning, it was I gotta sell one kit a month. I have to sell one because I gotta cover this 50. I gotta sell one kit a month because I gotta cover this 50. So whatever for her, I mean, even if she just invites 5 people and maybe has 1 or 2 come, like I would just invite her to do that as well.
Okay.
All right. I would love to continue to talk, but there is a time limit on these calls. So
Right.
I kind of noticed it was like, you guys have 3 minutes left for this call. So we're going to end it there. Yolanda, thank you again for tuning in. And for everybody listening to the replay tomorrow, we encourage you to be on next week's call, and hopefully we can have more, like one-on-one with you guys, just like we had with Yolanda, and answer people's questions, get their comments. And really make this a thing. So, Leah, thank you for joining us. It was like
Thank you, Leah. Bye.
You joined us like last minute. You walked in. So, thank you. And we'll see everybody next week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.